Same drill for Derick. You got a question, please? Anybody?
Yeah, well, brother.
How you doing?
Quick question for you. How did you remember last year's game up at the Penn State?
Right. So it was a great experience for us, especially for me. That was my first time ever going somewhere like that, especially Pennsylvania. Different environment. It was a great environment. Obviously, Penn State believes they have one of the best environments in college football, but obviously we have the best here in Auburn. So it was a great game, great opportunity to be somewhere different than the South. Play a game like that. So I think it was a great experience for us. And, obviously we fell short. We lost by 8 points. And, it was things here and there that helped us lose that game. And obviously they come to town this weekend. We're looking forward to it.
Just as a follow-up, so what should they expect coming down here?
Oh, man, something they've never seen before is all I can say. I really don't know because I know they play in the Big Ten and it's a lot of different experiences there also. But I know there's no place like Jordan-Hare. So I know the fans are going to be there. Students are going to be there. It's going to be a packed out game. It's going to be electric. And it's an orange out. So I know our orange out will be better than their white out.
Derick, Shenker was just in here talking about how last season that loss kind of stuck with you all. He felt like if you had won that game, maybe could have gathered a little bit of confidence. Do you feel that same way about where this game is positioned for y'all early in the season, where if you can get that win, it'll be a nice confidence boost moving forward?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We had Mercer and San Jose State, two really good teams. Obviously, last week we had to fight that one out. We had to play a full four-quarter game, and, some weeks is like that. We know this week competition's only going to get harder from here on out. So we have to be consistent with that approach and take it 1 week at a time. And I think the guys are ready, we're prepared, we're fired up. But, yes, I believe if we win this game, it will be a big confidence boost for us. Obviously heading to the second half of the season and rolling into, SEC play.
Justin, Derick, what stands out to you about Penn State's offense? Any differences from last year, or also just the offensive line? I heard Shenker talk about Owen talk about how good they looked on film.
Right. So I just started watching them last night. I sent a group of texts out to my edge guys about starting film early. And I sent them a couple of texts about what I saw. And I'm not going to go into detail about that, but I think they're a really good team. Sean Clifford looks a lot better than people assume. Just watching his mechanics and watching the game last year and the way he's played this year, he's definitely grown as a quarterback. So we have to be aware of that. The O-line is really good. Obviously going to be our first test with big guys up front. Last couple of weeks, there really wasn't much size. And we have to be diligent in our pad level, our technique, our hands, our placement, and everything we do this week because those guys are really good. They're big, they're fast, they're physical. So I think Penn State looks good on offense. And then that running back himself, he's not very tall. I mean, he's 6 foot, but he does weigh 220, 230 pounds. So, he's more of a bowling ball type guy. He can move, he can cut, he can do it all. So we have to be ready to be prepared for him also.
Derick, with a new position coach and a new coordinator, how much adjustment period has there been for you this season?
Oh, none. Obviously, Burt Watson left to go to Denver Broncos, and he called me when he made that decision. And after that, I got a call from Harsin talking about the next step, and he was going to keep me up to date on, where he decides to go with it. And a few days later, I received a call, him asking me about Coach Rock. And obviously, Coach Rock was in that room with us last year. When Coach Watts was the head man in that room, and he was there. He did a lot of work for us. He helped us out with a lot of tips and keys on the people that we played all year long, and I was head over heels, man. I mean, Rock's my guy. I don't know if y'all noticed at practice or anything like that, but we have a serious relationship. I mean, we talk crap, but I mean, he loved the death out of me, and I love him, man. Rock's a great guy. He's a great coach. He's been around the game a long time, so there hasn't really been much adjustment there because I've known him, and obviously I've known Coach Smet, and also he plays. I mean, he was a linebacker coach. And now he's our DC, so there wasn't much change in the defense as a whole. So I think we're moving along good.
Yes.
Yeah, we've seen teams short game, quick game. Penn State did a lot of that last year with Clifford too.
Right.
As a defense, how do you take the step in getting better at defending those kind of things?
Right. First 2 weeks we did see a lot of quick game, and obviously for the reasons because of the matchup up front, they didn't feel like they could block us, and so they threw the ball a lot. Obviously, for a defensive front, it gets frustrating because you consistently rush, and you have to just continue to do your job and be consistent in what you do every single day because teams are going to do that now. We have me, Leota, Marcus, Kobe. Then you have Jason, Jeffrey Imba. I mean, you just have we have a whole group of guys that can really get after the passer. So we're aware of that. We're expected of that. And I think we just have to be consistent. And, Coach E and Coach Smith take care of the back end. I can't speak on much on how they cover that, but I know as far as the front, we just have to be consistent and not get frustrated when they do throw quick routes.
Yes, Derick. Clifford completed 28 32 passes last year. How frustrating was that for you guys up front? And then how important is it this year to try to make him feel uncomfortable and get some pressure on him?
Right. So obviously he was at home, so he's a lot more comfortable. Coming here to Jordan Hare, I hope we can make him feel uncomfortable. I hope this environment is something that he hasn't been used to before. But up front, we do have to get home, and that's huge for us because we know those guys in the back end can cover all day. So when we do have those opportunities to get home and get sacks or get a pressure or a knockdown, we have to be very diligent in that work, and I think we will be. Like I said, last year was a hard pill to swallow for us because we knew we could have won that game, and we made mistakes along the way to help us lose that game. So I think guys are ready, and we're fired up and ready to get after it.
I asked Owen about the possibility of wearing orange jerseys for the orange out. Is that something you would advocate as a captain, or is it something you'd like to see?
I would. Obviously, it's been a while, like 1970 or something like that since they last wore the orange jersey. So we've talked about it a lot, but obviously Auburn is very traditional, and we can't compete with that. But that's definitely something that I would like to see. Just a little bit of change up, a little bit of raspiness and things like that. But I know we will have the orange face masks and other things like that, other orange accessories. So we can't complain, man. We're just ready to line up and play ball.
Mark, thinking back to last year's game, is there any one thing that really stands out to you most about that game?
I think we didn't play bad, but we weren't consistent enough. We didn't execute enough. We had mistakes along the way that, like I said, that helped us lose that game. And some of them were evident and some of them weren't. So I think we have to be, very precise in our approach this week and the way we prepare for this team because obviously they're going to come in here and win the game as expected. I mean, every game you play, both teams want to win. So we have to be very precise in our approach this week and make sure we do everything right to be able to have a chance to win this game.
Fun to get to play in a game like that. Looked like it was pretty intense.
Oh, yeah, it's fun. Especially going there, man, and it's just, you just see nothing but white. And, just all around you, and you're just loud and screaming. So I'm ready for Auburn fans to, to jump back on that, on this orange out game and be ready to prepare, to have it just as loud or even louder than it was there.
Three more, Justin. What does Marcus give you in the edge room coming in? He had that really nice tackle in the red zone on Saturday. What has he kind of meant for y'all in that position group?
Right. So Marcus Bragg coming in, he's been a really good player for us. He had to lose some weight, and that was a personal goal for him and for this for him to be able to help this defense. I'm sorry, but he's been really good for us. He comes to work every day. He works really hard. He's a good football player. Obviously, there's things that everybody have to grow in, and he has a place that he needs to grow, and he attacks to every single day. And Coach Rock does nothing but help him get better every single day. So he's been helpful for us. Obviously, been out there making plays. So we're definitely going to meet him this weekend.
What are some things that your defensive line as well as linebacker do to help the secondary?
Oh, man. So we always say, me, Simp, every time we're like, hey, Rush and Coach work together. You know that, right? So that's a big thing for me and him. We say that every day, all day, even in practice. Rush and covers work together. So, he's expecting us to be able to rush the pass, and we're expecting him to be able to cover long enough for us to get there. So I think that's the biggest thing that correlates them covering and us being able to affect them so they don't have to cover all day.
Derick, you mentioned the jerseys and all that. What was it like last year when you guys found out you were going to wear those white face masks at Penn State?
Right. It was crazy because that was the first thing that we've done, I think, since, the Outback Bowl in 2019 for Coach Da, and where we had the great gloves and great face masks. So it was huge for us to be able to have something a little different, switch up a little swag a little bit. But, for them to come here and we're wearing orange out and we have orange face masks and orange accessories, it's going to be pretty fun, man. I'm just stoked. I'm excited for this opportunity. I'm excited to be here with this team, man. I'm just ready to play.
All right, thanks, sir.
All right. Thank y'all. Have a great day.
Auburn.
I don't know. Jason, Auburn 247. When you look at offensively, what is kind of your overall take of the overall offense through 2 games?
Well, I think there's a lot of difference in game 1 and game 2. A lot of mistakes in game 2, obviously, early on. But we found a way to nip those in the bud and found a way to win those games. But, there's a lot of growth. Early in the season, that's what you expect. You're going to have little mistakes here and there. But now it's time, with Penn State coming to town, it's time to really hone in on the details and eliminate those mistakes moving forward.
How explosive is it to create some more explosive plays, especially in the passing game moving forward with teams probably paying more attention to the run?
Oh yeah, that's huge. That's what that's part of the run game. When you have a good run game, that's what you need to capitalize on is on the back end, making big plays. And we've made some, but we've also dropped some. We can't afford to do that moving forward.
All right, Justin.
What stands out to you about Penn State's defense, and what you guys seen on film, and maybe what you remember from them last season?
I think they're pretty similar to last season. I mean, a lot of guys got drafted, but the overall scheme is pretty much the same. A lot of man. So that's what we expect, and that's what really the SEC is too. It's all man-to-man, play a 4-down, 2-backer box most of the time. So last year they're a very physical bunch. Big Ten's normally pretty physical football, so that's what we expect, and that's not really what we're not necessarily not used to that in the SEC. So that's pretty much a normal week, but they're a good team. I mean, obviously they struggled early in week 1, but looks like they looked pretty sharp last week. So.
John, with the new coordinator, how different is what you're doing now than what you guys did last year, if it's different at all? And how much of an adjustment is that as a player?
I don't think it's much different because it's still Coach Harsin. He's still over all of it. The play calling may be a little bit different throughout the game, just from Keesall and Bobo, just 2 different standpoints, but you don't really notice that during a game. I mean, the plays are still pretty similar. We still want to run the ball first and then take shots off of that. But it hasn't been really different. I would say our connection with Keesall is better than Bobo just because we've had him now for 2 years. So we're used to him, and we're more understanding of what he's going to call during the game.
John, what did you remember that 4th down conversion there? Tell me about that play and kind of walk me through what happened there.
Yeah, that was not drawn up that way. So they brought some edge pressure on that play, and as soon as I knew that I had to be open because I knew TJ would have something in his face. So as soon as I turned around, I just waited for him to be able to dunk it off to me because I wasn't the first option or the second, I don't think. So, but yeah, he dunked it off, and then I just really followed my lineman back across the field to try and get the first down.
Yeah, last year's game was a pretty intense one. Anything in particular stand out to you about it?
Last year's Penn State game? Well, I mean, the atmosphere is different. I mean, the Whiteout, that's a pretty unique experience. But, I mean, they're a really physical team. I mean, I can say over and over, but nothing crazy stands out. I mean, we think we should have won the football game. I mean, for sure. That's left a sour taste in our mouth for a year now. So we've had this one circled for a while. The guys were here last year and seeing what happened and what we can do better to win this game this year when they come to our house.
John, I guess Finley had that other play to tank where you kind of flipped it out after the bad snap. When it comes to those kind of kind of broken down plays, does that kind of go back to him in the preseason? You guys just talked about how he was calm and comfortable and had a good command of the offense and had a good rapport with all you guys. Is that where that kind of shows up in game settings, is when things don't go according to plan?
Well, I think we saw it last year, Georgia State game. I mean, he just kind of did some crazy stuff. I think his height helps him. He's able to see things for longer. So if he starts scrambling, he can see things unfold and he can dunk it off to you. But yeah, that's part of just TJ trying to make plays. Obviously, he's not as fast as Robbie. So him having eyes and being able to throw balls and make plays like that is that's what he needs to do to be the best quarterback can be. And that helps our offense too. I mean, things are going to break down. Like, it's not going to be perfect. Pocket's not going to be perfect. They're going to be covered downfield, have to make plays. And if he can continue to do that, that'll help our offense for sure.
How impressed were you with the way he bounced back from that, both on and off the field, from that interception? Completed like 12 of his last 15 throws.
Yeah, no, that was huge, especially after last year. I feel like he didn't do that great. Like, when things got hard, last year he just didn't really take control. I thought this year he really did that, and especially this game, which is part of his maturity, I think, as a quarterback, and also being a leader too. Just not letting it phase him. Obviously, it was still early in the game when those mistakes were happening, so he had time to make it up. But, definitely a testament to him and really the whole offense for responding.
Yeah, Malcolm Johnson, Coach Harsin said he'd be back this week. How much could that maybe help your wide receiver core in those explosive plays you guys are looking for?
Oh, huge, especially a guy like Malcolm, hard worker, knows what he's doing. So the effort and stuff's there with Malcolm. We missed him last week. He's a key part to the offense, just how things run on the offensive side of the ball, and he's a huge component to that, and we're happy to have him back.
John, first week y'all had 2 penalties. Last week it was kind of a penalty fest. And you see that same thing happen to other teams. What happens to cause that?
I think part of it's just I don't know why it was this week. It was like everyone did. Like I think Bama had like 15 or something. Right. I don't know why that is. It was pretty sloppy play on our part. Some of them are hit or miss. You can argue and back and forth, whatever. But if they're going to make the calls, then you got to live with it and just learn how to play to the standard of the referees are going to call. So it's really just knowledge of the game and knowing what you can and can't do in certain things, and just not letting yourself get in trouble on certain things, and holding, blocking the back and stuff like that.
John, Coach Arshall was saying that you guys probably missed some opportunities up at Penn State last year, just knowing that you kind of had that chance and that you were going to see them again this year. That loss kind of stick with you guys more than some others might have.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Coming off that game, we just watching them celebrate in that environment, that really hurt us last year, I thought, early in the season. That could have really helped us out last year, just confidence-wise, because we felt like we had that game. We felt like we played well enough to win. Things just didn't go our way. We didn't execute in the second half very well. This week's definitely, everyone needs to buy into this week. And this will get us off to a great start heading into conference play.
Thanks, Shanker. Yep.
All right, questions for Owen. Owen, you got a new position coach, a new coordinator. How much of an adjustment period is there for that for a player?
It really just depends on, your history with that. Like me personally, I have high school, I had 3 different head coaches, 3 different position coaches, so it was really an easy transition for me in high school. In college, but I feel like it's just a part of the game, man. So you got to be able to adapt, and everybody kind of runs the same stuff anyway. So it's just, same concepts, different language. So yeah, it really wasn't that hard.
How has Coach Robinson, how has he adjusted to the new situation that you see?
Oh, man, he likes us a lot. He has a personal relationship with each and every one of us. We pop jokes all the time in meetings, you know what I'm saying? So the personality is there. He coaches us hard, and he expects nothing but the best from us.
Sir. Brian Swinburne, L.com. Owen, hope you're doing well, by the way.
Sir, thank you.
A lot been made of you guys not getting turnovers the first 2 games. What have you seen on the film that you guys can work on, and how you guys going to fix that going forward this week?
Yeah, we just got to execute better, man. That's something we emphasize every practice, have at least three turnovers every practice, and that's been a goal for us this offseason, to have 30 turnovers in total this season. We haven't done too good with that these first 2 games, but we're just going to keep working at it, keep punching the ball out in practice, keep working, ball drills, trying to break on balls, things like that, to try to make more plays on the ball during the game.
A lot of people have been pointing to this game. I'm guessing you've been pointing to this game a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
This was kind of the point last year for you. To point to this, looking forward to this game.
Looking forward to it, man. But I'm not trying to treat it like a Super Bowl or anything, man. You got to take everything 1 week at a time. But I'm definitely looking forward to going out there and executing at the highest level.
When you think back to last year, obviously for you, injury-wise, what do you think that Penn State game? What comes to mind for you?
Really just finishing off on a better note than I did last year. Actually took some friendly fire. That's how I got hurt. So it wasn't even one of their players. But just trying to leave a better mark than I did last year, and just giving them all for the team. Yeah.
Yeah. Jason sort of asked what I was going to ask, but anything in particular really stand out to you about that game last year, other than what you mentioned?
Just the build up to it. You have the white out, they 100,000 in the stadium and all that. So, they had a lot of theatrics going on during their game too. But just it's a big game. I think they're ranked what, number 22 in the country or something like that. So, it's a statement game for us to show them that we need to be recognized as one of the top teams in the country.
Yeah. Those are the kind of games you enjoy most.
Best game to play in.
Well, what are the biggest differences you've noticed, if any, from Penn State on film compared to what you saw from them last year and maybe what they're doing early on?
Yeah, actually just came from watching them just now. They run a lot of the same stuff. Obviously there's new tweaks here and there too. But I know obviously, it's a copycat league. So, they're going to take some of the things that we've been struggling with these past 2 weeks and try to throw it at us, with their own twist to it. But they've run a lot of similar things that they did last year. But, every week a team has a new wrinkle for Auburn, a wrinkle for Alabama, whoever they're playing. So we just got to be ready for it.
Owen, do you feel like defensively this team can step up another level or two from the way you played the first 2 games?
Yes, sir. I think we need to do a better job of getting off on the field on third down. And there was a lot of holes in our coverages, guys hitting us on slants. But, we have a plan for that this week to help, fix things that we have problems with. And, of course, we take pride in stopping the run, too. So that's going to be big for us.
Owen, when you just look at these first 2 games, how would you assess your overall performance as well as the defense?
As a defense, I think we've done solid. Obviously we can be better. We haven't had any turnovers, so that's one thing that we're gonna, try to, be better at going on throughout the rest of the season. But personally, I think I've been doing good, man. I'm picking up where I left off. Still knocking off some rust. First game, I don't think I only had like 4 tackles or something. I really didn't get much action my way neither. So I tried to make the plays that I could make. Definitely took a step up last week as far as just production wise. I did pretty good. I think I ended up with like 7 tackles or so. Tipped the ball a little bit. But just as far as having cleaner reads, clean eyes, looking at guards pulling and whatnot, I think I've done a better job. But I'm just going to continue to try to improve week by week.
Justin, Owen and Sean Flicker, their quarterbacks, played a ton of football. Y'all saw him last year. Just what makes him such a top quarterback? Because he's put up some big numbers already this year.
Yeah, I think he's a 4-year starter for him. Veteran guy, man. So, you got to be on your toes with, guys like that. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Doesn't throw many picks. He actually throws the ball out of bounds rather than try to, go for the 50-50 ball. But you just got to be on your P's and Q's, man. You got a smart guy like that at quarterback. They also got a really good old line, too. The center's a really good player, really smart player as well. But obviously we can't afford to make mistakes this game. We just got to be on point the whole entire time.
When you mentioned holes in coverage, is it more about being aggressive, execution, or a little bit of both? How do you fix those kind of things?
I would say just execution for the most part, and obviously you can be aggressive at certain times too.
Yeah, I mean, people think it's just secondary. How much is it from a linebacker perspective, your drops and those things, and playing into that as well?
Yeah, we got to do a better job too of just getting in those windows where the quarterback trying to get in the hole. But yeah.
Brian,
with it being an orange out as a white out last year, would you like to see them bring back the orange jerseys?
Yeah, that would be nice, but Auburn's really traditional, so I don't think that's gonna happen. But it would be sweet if that happened, though.
Are you rooting for it?
Yeah, definitely.
Have a vote?
I mentioned it to him a couple times, even last year, but I don't know. We gonna see. I was told it's gonna be a surprise for us this year. I don't know which game it's gonna be for, but they said it's gonna be some type of surprise. So we'll see.
When they did the helmet choices for y'all over the summer, was the orange face mask, was that your choice, or which one did you go with?
Yeah, I said orange. Yeah, I like it. We should wear the orange Saturday. I don't know. We gonna see. We gonna see.
Anything else? All right.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. Where you?